Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we're going to take a look at some of my thoughts on some recent purchases. I could not believe that it was time for another one of these thoughts and recaps and looks at recent products. It felt like I just did one, but actually it was a long time ago. It was well over a month ago, and we've had so much stuff in that time. I also try to get these where it doesn't pile up too much because we don't want to be here forever, but I also want to hit it on the area, the spot where you guys are still considering some of these brand new products. Or are you going to spend your hard-earned money on it? And of course, I love doing first impressions and after a day of wear and whatnot, but it's really nice to play with these items for weeks on end, days on end, really use them, really get into them, and I can give you more specific thoughts. Most of these, they're about the same, the thoughts, but I have a lot of added information. Now, as always, I have skipped a few products that I've mentioned over and over again in recent videos so that I'm not entirely repeating myself entirely. But if I do skip something that you really want to hear about, just let me know here or on Instagram and I'll be sure to fill you in. Some of these also, I'm going to be doing more in-depth stuff in upcoming videos, so I'm trying not to repeat myself too much. All right, well, let's get going because you should see this table in front of me. It is crowded. Plus, I got my Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar cherry flavor this time. So I will not be choking and coughing. All right, let's get started. We're going to start with a few very recent products, actually. And one of them is the Nars Radiant Creamy Color Corrector. These are $30 each. These princesses are my new favorite color correctors for a number of reasons. There's only 4 shades. Whereas Fenty gave us like 30 shades. And my video, which I will link below, I have all the original reviews linked below, along with shopping links. If you decided to purchase, it definitely doesn't cost you extra and helps out the channel, so I appreciate it. I have shopping links, but I also have the original review. In my original review, I compared these Nars new creamy color correctors to the Fenty, so you can take a look at that. I have been using these exclusively. They do need some concealer over them. They are a traditional color corrector. I have light and medium under my eye, and on the red areas I go a teeny bit darker. Not only are these easy to apply with a really precise application tip. Let me get that there so you can see that. A really precise application tip. They make a lovely base for concealer. They smooth everything out. They blur. I'm wearing them now. I've been wearing them every day. They are my new favorite color corrector. I have to be honest with you, most color correctors I don't bother with. And I do talk about that in the video on these, what it's like to do with the green ones and the peach ones. And these are really good. They're all kind of a riff off of a skin tone, cooler and warmer, and they have 4 different shades that are really stretchy to get a lot of different skin tones in there. And I think it's a great product. It's my new favorite color corrector, $30 each. The other thing I want to talk about today is the Nars new cheek palette, which is called Orgasm on the Beach. Yes, Orgasm on the Beach. I muddled those words because when you guys write out the whole O word in my comments, some of you they were retracting your comments, so I wasn't seeing them all. So just try to use it on O. I know it's crazy. Nars should own this word by now, for goodness sake. This is a glowing cheek palette. I feel this can be used on eyes. There's a lot of shades that are eye happy here. Cheeks. It's highlights, it's blush, it's everything. Not great if you have a lot of texture because these are all kind of shimmery shades or, you know, have a little bit of a metallic sheen to them. There's no mattes in there, but it is a beautiful all over face palette and I have been really enjoying it. I think Nars is really hitting it out of the ballpark these days. Speaking of hitting it out of the ballpark, I do not play baseball. I don't know what is up lately with me and all the baseball references. I do enjoy the food though at the baseball games. I will say that. Okay, let's talk about someone who's really hitting it out of the ballpark. And that is Makeup by Mario. Every collection that Mario releases in conjunction with Sephora and on his own website everyone gets better and better. This new release is called the Soft Sculpt Collection, and I picked up the powder blush, the bronzer, the highlighter. Let's go over some of the prices here. By the way, the Orgasm on the Beach palette is $59. I didn't mean to leave that out. Okay, so let's go over some of the prices and what we got here. This Soft Pop Blush Stick is $28. The Soft Glow highlighter is $28. The bronzer is $28. The powder blush is $24. And there's also a contour stick coming out that I haven't picked up yet, but it is out. This collection is sensational. This blush, and I have a story to go with it. There's always a story. This blush is so much fun. I picked up a few colors of it, and it is so, so much fun. It is such a good cream blush. It is the summer of cream blush, and this is such a beautiful one, and there's so many different shades to choose from. The fun, and you know what else I love here? I love the highlighter in this collection. The highlighter is so, so pretty. I don't even have any highlighter on today. I just want to put a little bit on here just in the viewfinder just to show you. It's like it's just kind of almost wants to be sparkly. Look at that. I just put it on without even a mirror. It wants to be sparkly, but it's just so different. And I'm a huge fan. This is just a slightly different highlighter. The powder blush is beautiful. All of it is so, so, so pretty. The bronzing powder is beautiful. I have a confession to make that will make you guys just laugh and laugh. Everyone keeps talking to me about the brush in the blush. Okay, so I have a confession to make. I told so many of you in comments, oh, no, there's no brush in the blush. No, there's a brush sold separately for the blush. And you guys are so sweet and so polite. Oh, okay, Rebecca, I didn't realize. You guys, I've been taking this apart. I'm like, there's no brush in here. Hello, Rebecca. Hello. You guys meant this blush. So there's the blush end. Seriously, honestly, if my head were attached. And there is the brush end. There is a little brush in here that works very, very well to help apply the cream blush. And look at what it does. It pops out of there so that you can wash it. Why won't it come out now? Okay, so anyway, you have to trust me on this one. Oh, there we go. It comes out and you can wash it. So that kind of sanitary issue that we kind of face when we have something connected to. So this is just really thoughtful. Mario just thought this collection really, really well, and he just keeps getting better and better. Plus, frankly, I think it's affordable for high-end makeup. And look at that highlighter that I just added on without even a mirror. Such pretty stuff. I think you owe it to yourself to try that if you're looking for a new brand to try and you haven't tried Mario stuff. It's so good. Okay, let's talk Pat McGrath. We have all talked Pat McGrath to death. Her new Divine Powder blushes are absolutely amazing. I am wearing a Nymphette today. I haven't found one I don't like. Even the ridiculously dark ones are beautiful. I was telling somebody if you put on one of her really bright red ones or dark, dark pink ones and you feel a little bit overdone, just take whatever it was that you used to apply your foundation, and it won't have any more foundation on it, hopefully, and just use that, buff that over a little bit, and it will just tone it down just a tad. Whether you use a sponge or a brush, just a little bit over, and it will just take it down one notch if you're feeling a little bit shocking in some of those brighter colors. They're so beautiful. The highlighter, we're going to be talking more about that in another video. I got a little something up my sleeve, is amazing. And the eye quad is probably her prettiest eye quad yet. It has a lot of fallout and it's absolutely gorgeous. I have my initial reactions to all of this below, but this is a beautiful collection. I think probably Pat McGrath's best collection yet, to just go out on a limb and say that. My only issue, and it's one you've been hearing, and I didn't even say it in the video, darn this clasp. You guys are so kind. You told me press the top of it and then it will release, and it does release a lot better that way, but it's a bit of a nail breaker. There we go. It's a bit of a nail breaker. I don't know what's up with this clasp. It's no bueno. I don't like the clasp. I'm not alone on that though. I hope they don't use it again. I can't imagine that they would. Let's talk about Patrick Ta. Major Dimension eyeshadow palette is $68. By the way, to back up there, Pat McGrath selling her blushes for $38, her eye quad for $58, and her highlighter for $48. So we have a Patrick Ta Major Dimension eyeshadow palette that is $68. This is cool in that it's an unexpected neutral palette. It's not boring. Neutral palettes are not boring. This one is especially interesting because he's got 2 shades of cream eye base in here underneath a little flap. I like to call it the TA flap. That's my little name for it, although sometimes Natasha Denona uses them too. She's got a TA flap too. She probably used it first, but we're still going to call it the TA flap. This is, like I said, $68. Do you have these shades already? Might you have them in, speaking of Natasha Denona? The Biba palette. Quite possibly. I still think this is a beautiful palette. I think Patrick Ta works beautiful in neutrals, and when he mixes powders and cream products, he just does it so artfully. I am always in awe. I'm very happy to own this. If you are saving cash, is this something you must have for your collection? Probably not, but it's a very, very good neutral palette. However, the Major Dimension eyeliners, which are $26 each, I bought 2 of, and they're nice. They're never going to replace my Pat McGrath liners. So I really like them. And please comment below if you disagree. I do not think these liners will change your life. And at $26 each, you can save your money if you have other eyeliners. That's just my opinion. Moving on at breathtaking speed, let's talk about some new releases by Huda. Glowish Skin Tint, I really like. It is very pretty. It is a dewy, glowy look that has a lot of skincare in it for, I don't know if I said this, for $37. You could put this on a no makeup day and it still blurs lines, and it's really, really pretty. Yeah, it's a really nice product. You know what I like better though from her release was actually her bronzing powder. This bronzing powder, which I'm wearing today, is $31, my notes tell me, and it is actually super pretty and super natural. I got the very, very first shade, which is super light, and it just warms up my skin, and believe it or not, I think that's the star of this release. I do like the glowish. I mean, I like it. I don't think it's that much like Charlotte Tilbury's Hollywood Flawless Filter. I think it's a little bit more glistening and a little bit thinner, and I don't really see it as a base product. But this one, which should be kind of subsidiary, I think wins. I think it's beautiful. So I talked about an Il Makiage face palette. They did a collab with Carly Bible, and it's beautiful. Miss BB, a member of our community, brought up something that she was apologizing to me, and she shouldn't be, because now I can't unsee it. She was aggravated by the waste of space in this palette, and I'm like, oh my goodness, you're right. Look at all that plastic. These are beautiful, beautiful products, and they're housed beautifully, and they work. She has a mix of baked products and a mix of just pressed powder, and they're absolutely beautiful. But my goodness, there is a lot of extra plastic in there. I'm glad I was told. I don't know why it didn't occur to me originally. That's a lot of plastic. Another star from this, I am wearing it right now, the Torres lipstick from this collection is sensational. I have it on my lips today, and it's neutral but slightly brown leaning without looking like a brown lipstick. Love it, love it, love it. Let's talk about some prices on that. The face shaping palette is $54. Although you could get it packaged together with a lip liner and this lovely lipstick for $79. Just saying. Speaking of prices, for $225 right now at Beautylish, you can get the new Wayne Goss Edit Edition brushes. So let's talk about them. I am a brush hog. I love my brushes. These are some of my favorites. I can't even bring these out here clean to show you. These Wayne Goss brushes are never clean, so please pardon the fact that they're a little bit dirty. I use them today. I use them all the time. I love the fact, let me just grab one here. I love the fact that almost all of them have this beautiful kind of calligraphy point. It makes like more than one brush because you've got the little tip to do fine work, and you've got the edges and the sides to do broader strokes. And they do everything, your entire face. This brush is a slightly bit different. It's a little bit more domed, and that is the only one. All the rest have that calligraphy point. They are absolutely beautiful brushes. They're my favorite. I liked his artist collection, but this is actually my favorite collection that Wayne Goss has ever done. So he's just amazing. The absolutely beautiful products. Let's talk about something I'm wearing today. This is, I have been all over this in comments, suggesting this to people. This is the Tarte Hydroflex. It is $39. This is another skincare skin tint. It goes on your face and gives you that no makeup look. It's a tad bit matte. In the video, I compare it to the Fenty Eavesdrop. It's a little less matte than that. If you have a normal to dry complexion, I suggest a dewy primer underneath, Today I am wearing it with Hollywood Flawless Finish. You could probably wear it with the Huda Glowish underneath, actually, and just kind of build them up. I did try that once now that I think about it. It was pretty, but I prefer the Charlotte Tilbury product underneath it. It is just enough color. It's got water in it. You can hear it. You just shake it up. I just actually squirt it on my face like some sort of crazed Instagrammer, and then I put it on with a little bit of a brush, and I love it. It's a new favorite product for summer. Of all the skin tints out there, I like this one. You can control the dewiness by what you put over it and under it, and if not, it's just kind of a sheer, pretty finish. Big fan of this product. Natasha Denona coming in with a few products. Let's talk first about her Zendo Shadow Palette, the larger, we had a mini out. Here's the larger one. This is a $65 Natasha Denona midi size. Love it. It's beautiful. I have heard a lot of you say that you prefer the bronze palette and you prefer the mini Zendo, and that is perfectly okay. But I do like this. Yes, it's very warm, but it's a nice mix of warm and a few pops of cool in there. I think it is a beautiful palette. I think all the colors perform really, really well. I've had a lot of fun with this palette. For me, it is a winner. I know that a lot of people get torn on Natasha's products. This is, I think, a very, very good one. Unfortunately, I'm not a giant fan of her little puff paints that she came out with at $22 each. These are a little doe foot applicator that you can use, well, you can use anywhere you want, but specifically Natasha Denona says cheeks and lips, and I like them very much. They're okay. If I don't reach for them. If I didn't have these in my collection, there wouldn't be a hole in my collection. They're okay. Tell me what you think below. Feel free to disagree. Melt released their Noods lipstick collection, which were a bunch of matte nude colors in this beautifully engraved or embossed, I should say, lipstick here. They are $22 each, and they come in this beautiful magnetic case. I have trouble, who was I telling in comments that I feel like sometimes when I have a really plain nude lipstick on that's matte, it kind of has that look of being lost in the desert for days with no water. Like I feel like that the makeup artists on movie sets would use some of these for that. I hate to say it, but it's like, you know, when you have no Dr. Pepper Zero at all for days and you're parched, it just, that's kind of what it feels like to me. I'm just not a fan of a matte nude lipstick. If you are, though, these would be just up your alley. Oh, the Bite Daycation for $32 each. Let's talk. Love the product. Sing it if you know it. Hate the dispenser, the packaging. What do you want to call it? Okay, so you got to take this off. Look at. Look. Can you see in there? You got to squeeze this thing. Hope that it doesn't go all over you. Then you got to get it all over your hands. Then you got to get it onto your cheeks where it's cooling and pretty. I think it actually wears beautifully, like a really, really nice whipped blush. The application process for this is absolutely ridiculously dumb and very difficult to use. Very hard to squeeze it out. As many of you said in comments, will be really tough to get value out of, because how do you know are you going to start shaking it and pounding it on things? This is a beautiful product, but I would say it's $32 each. Don't waste your money on it because the dispenser for this is stupid. And that's just it. It's just dumb. And there's no need for that. Viseart. Oh, wow. This seems like forever, but it was not long ago that Viseart released the Soleil Plage, their little beach summer palette for $44. This is just a thing of beauty, my friends. Take a look at that. And of course, I linked my original video below where I have swatches and all sorts of stuff for you. Beautifully performing palette. Lovely if you want. Look at how many neutrals you have in there. But if you want that pop of blue or orange or yellow, you get that in there too. Just a lovely, lovely palette. I highly recommend this, especially if you are a collector of those brighter colors, but want something that you can also take with you somewhere and still do a really kind of average plain look and then kick it up a little bit after work or for evening. Beautiful, beautiful palette. Rare Beauty came out with this $18 eye primer. This is a good eye primer. I know that $18 isn't cheap, but it's affordable for high-end makeup, and I really like this little guy. I don't always use eye primer because I'm a lazy bee, but let me tell you, if you do, and when I do, if you're going to put a brighter color on, this has replaced my Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer and the Urban Decay. This is a very, very good eye primer. Now, sadly, the Discovery eyeshadow palette for $29 is also a very, very good product that I literally never reach for. And it's too bad. She devoted the most amount of space in this palette to this disco ball in the middle, which is very pretty, but extraordinarily glittery. And I just feel like a kindergartner playing in glitter. You know, I looked back at the video when I was linking the videos in the description bar, and I was like, oh, that eye look is actually really pretty that I did. It is. There's nothing wrong with this palette. And for $29, you can get a lot of use out of it. It's super pretty and just kind of super forgettable, and that is entirely unfair because it's a nice eyeshadow palette. I am just being entirely honest with you guys, princesses. I cannot believe this. I hadn't really done a lot on the One Size Beauty Turn Up the Base foundation. I think I did talk about it in a few videos. Great product. Good luck finding your shade. I have to mix two different ones. I like the Fenty powder better. I have said that, I think, though, in a few videos, so we'll move on. I also cannot believe that I had not talked about the Beautopsy Hindash palette. Oh, $70. You can order it on Hindash's site. Just look. Just look. And I go over this in the review, and this is just, I mean, come on. It's a thing of beauty. It looks like a painter's palette. There's really 3 or 4 shades in each because it kind of runs that little spectrum there like a rainbow. I am wearing it on my eyes today. I dare you to make an ugly look with this palette. Yes, it is plain, and plain is sophisticated and beautiful. Kind of the antithesis of the disco ball in the Rare Beauty. I can't believe I didn't talk about this. If you haven't gotten this, and if you fancy yourself a makeup maven, and you probably do, and you have a big sizable collection of nice makeup, this should be in there. Hourglass Velvet Story Lip Cream, a very pretty product. $36 each. It's lovely. Okay, I never reach for it. They're really, really pretty. If you love yours, comment below. I like it. I wear it. I haven't been doing a lot of lip creams. To be honest with you, I've been doing more matte lipsticks with gloss over the top. And I have tried gloss over this one, and that's fine. The weird thing about this Hourglass, and I actually say this in my initial review, it doesn't ever really dry down. So it's like defeating the purpose. Because I always think of a lip cream as also being transfer proof. And though there's no claims that this one is transfer proof, it isn't. And it's weird to me. Like, why isn't it transfer? I don't know. I'm just not into it. And last but not least, we have the Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Powder. Powerful powder. That is $29. This is a very good powder. I am not a powder person. If I forget a step on my makeup, today I actually had forgotten my highlighter, and I did it here with you guys. But I tend to forget powder. If you must have powder for $29, this Urban Decay All-Nighter is not all-nighter. It doesn't set down your makeup any longer than any other setting powder, so don't be fooled by that claim. But in terms of a finely milled, pretty, loose powder, if you're in the market for one, and this is $29, you know, affordable for high-end makeup, it's a really nice product. It really is. I just don't reach for it too much because I don't use a lot of powders. If I did, I would go through this one, though, and I would probably replace it. It's pretty good. All right, let me know what I forgot. Let me know what you still have questions about. I would love to answer them and sit here with you guys for as long as you need me in comments. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, my goodness, please subscribe to my channel. And I will see all of you, hopefully, in the next video.